Hey there, folks. Welcome to Mower Mike's Garage. Yep. I just came back from a trip to our great neighbors in the north, the frozen tundra, the country that is called Canadian, specifically the BC, British Canada, British Columbia, something like that, one of those provinces up there. But, anyways, I learned a lot and I was inspired by my trip to Canada because what I saw over and over in Canada was their method of building. What they do in Canada when they want to build a house, a log cabin, or whatever, they buy some land, they get some giant chainsaws, they cut down all the big, huge trees on the land, then they build their own freaking chainsaw mill those logs, and then build a structure. I swear, that is how they do it. They don't buy wood up there. Everybody's up there milling their own logs, and I was like, where has this been my whole life? Now, I got home and I was inspired. Now, I am not Canadian. I'm American. So, as an American, what do you do when you're inspired? Well, you go on Amazon, you buy a whole bunch of cheap Chinese crap in order to try to repeat what you saw done right in Canada. So, of course, I went on Amazon, and there's all sorts of cheap Chinese chainsaw milling stuff. So I just went and I bought it all. I got clamps, I got this, I got that, I got that, I got all sorts of crap. So, what I've got here, my main device is this chainsaw planking mill setup thingy, and I've got it bolted on. And we're going to go through exactly how it all works in detail, but I got to admit, I'm way too excited to wait. I'm going to do a money shot right now, and then we're going to go into detail because I got to see how this sucker works. So we're going to get the old Husqvarna 455. Now this thing is heavy. That's not good. How are we going to start this thing up? It's like Edward Scissorhands here. All right, let's get her going. Come on. Now, if that doesn't look dangerous, I don't know what dangerous is, folks. So we're going to straddle this, and I'm going to hang on, and hopefully I don't cut my freaking arm off. Well, you see, folks, something ain't working right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm not going to try to fix this. We're just going to go with a bigger chainsaw, more horsepower, and hopefully it'll push through that bind I'm experiencing right now. So hang on. I'm going to show you exactly how this works, and then we're going to hook up this big son of a bitch here, this Echo, and just let her rip. All right, gang. Now I'm going to show you how this thing works. I'm not going to go through the pain in the butt of actually bolting this thing together. The instructions weren't too bad. It's pretty simple. But a couple of things. You'll notice this bar here is what slides up and down. I mean, this thing is made for absolutely massive, massive chainsaws. We'll try a bigger one in a little bit. You'll see your loop is right here. Your bar is right here. This is what gives you steady. Also, make sure you're going to see some numbers, like a ruler. Make sure the ruler is on the inside of the outside one. I screwed that one up a few times, and make sure these bolts, U-bolts, are facing out. And what it does, we're going to clamp the bar of the chainsaw between here. So go ahead and flip it like so, and then you just lift it. Make sure they're loose. These are 12 millimeter bolts. No, I mean 13, excuse me. And then you just slide it down here like so, and you're gonna see a little bar, like a clamp bar right there. And you just make sure it's on the bar itself and not the chain. That's the main part here. You wanna make sure everything's kind of straight, that your chain still moves. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna clamp it down with a 13 millimeter. And making these things tight is so, so important. Because the last thing you need is a piece of Chinese steel ripping off your freaking Husqvarna Swedish-made chainsaw and hitting you in the face. So go ahead and clamp down the actual clamps, but also make sure to clamp down this part too, because you don't want that being squirrely. So I'm gonna go through and just hand tighten every single bolt on here and make sure it is super tight before we start ripping. Into my Canadian brethren, I am sorry your Canadian flag is super, super dirty, but I thought it made it for a cool backdrop of the maple leaf, guys. All right, we're hooking up chainsaw number 2. What I've got here is a very, very highly modified Echo CS590 American-made chainsaw. This thing is sick with my little custom-built exhaust. Got lots of videos on it. Now, a couple of notes on this hookup versus the Husqvarna. what I've done, I've scooted this bar in closer to the chainsaw because I think I had on the Husqvarna, I may have had it too close to the end where that wheel is. It might have been causing it to bind. Also, look at that. See the clamp? You want it dead in the middle on both of them as you can. That way everything's even. So I've got this sucker all tightened up, and gosh, this looks crazy. Hopefully I don't hurt myself because this is a bigger, much heavier chainsaw. So for your sake, we're gonna go ahead and rip it up and see what happens here. Hang on. All right, folks, we're back with this chainsaw. We're gonna light her up. I'm fairly nervous, but hey, this is what YouTube's all about. Let's see what happens here. All right, this is a much bigger, heavier chainsaw. All right, I'm calling it. I don't think this is a good idea at all for several reasons. I think it's very dangerous to put that on a chainsaw. And I think the main issue is that when you pick it up, you're putting so much weight on that bar, it's causing the bar to bend and it's causing that chain to bend. And boy, I really wanted to make some planks, but guys, I don't think this cheap shit is the way to go. I'd say get some sort of professional, something more professional than anything that's $50 on Amazon. I'm sure not going to hook up this clamp. I don't even know what this thing does. So with that, I'm sorry, but at some point we will have another chainsaw milling video with some better equipment. And if anybody's never been to Canada, go up there, man. It's cool. They've got some cool stuff up there. All right, we'll come back next time with another mower video. Mower Mike's out. This is a big fail. See ya.